You don't become the best first, you act like it first. It's not arrogance, it's alignment. You don't need permission, you don't need applause, you just need to decide. The Stoics never waited to be labeled worthy. They lived as if they already were, not to fake it, to prove it. Because the way you carry yourself writes your future. You want to rise? Then move like someone who's already climbed. Stand like someone who's already earned it. Speak like someone who knows what he's built, even if no one's seen it yet. You don't become the best and then act different. You act different until one day you realize you are. Stoic confidence starts from within. Not from compliments, not from followers, not from how many rooms say your name, but from how you move when no one's watching. How you stand when no one agrees. How you speak when the world leans quiet. The Stoics didn't chase validation. They chased virtue. They weren't loud. They were locked in. Because real confidence isn't loudness, it's clarity. No mask, no performance, just presence, just purpose. It doesn't need to prove, it doesn't need to push, it just walks. Because it knows where it's going, and it never asks for permission to arrive. Stop waiting to feel ready. Move as if you are. Readiness is a trap, a feeling you chase but never catch. You say, not yet, soon, maybe when I'm more. But the Stoics didn't wait. They acted. Cold. Calm. Committed. Because life doesn't care if you feel ready. It only responds to what you do. The mind wants safety, but the soul, it wants proof. So move, speak, step forward. Not because you feel prepared, but because it's time. Discipline isn't waiting for confidence, it's moving anyway. And letting confidence catch up. So stand how a leader stands, write how a master writes, train how a warrior trains, and one day, without warning, you'll realize you didn't become ready. You became real. The standard you hold is the life you get. Not luck, not talent, not timing. Standard. What you allow, what you demand, what you walk past without flinching. The Stoics didn't hope for better, they lived better. By choice, by code, by holding themselves to a line they never lowered. You say you want more? Then raise the bar and keep it raised even when no one else does. Because life doesn't give you what you dream. It gives you what you tolerate. So tolerate less. Accept less. Excuse less. Hold your posture. Hold your word. Hold your fire when the world plays soft. That's where it shifts. That's when the gap closes between who you are and who you said you'd become. And the only way up is to stand taller first. Carry yourself like someone who's already there. Not to fake it, to frame it. The Stoics walked with weight, not because they were better, but because they were grounded. They didn't wait for a title. They didn't ask for approval. They just moved like men who knew their direction. And that knowing was louder than any praise. You want to rise? Stop crawling in your tone, stop slouching in your thoughts. Stop apologizing for taking space. Stand like someone who's been through fire and stayed centered. Speak like someone whose words carry structure, not noise, not flair, just code. Because when you carry yourself with presence, you don't need to say a word. The room adjusts, the air shifts, and everything soft moves out of your way. Humility isn't shrinking. It's standing without needing to shout. You don't have to lower your light to prove you're grounded. You just have to stop trying to blind anyone with it. The Stoics were humble, but never small. They knew who they were. They knew what they carried, and they never begged to be seen. True humility isn't silence, it's stability. It's moving without needing reaction. It's knowing your depth without needing to prove it. Most confuse quiet with weakness, but the quiet ones, they're often the sharpest. Because power doesn't flinch, it doesn't scream, it just stands. Not to dominate, not to impress, but because it refuses to fall out of alignment for attention. So stay firm, stay low, stay lethal, and let your discipline be louder than your presence. You're not better than anyone, but no one's above your duty. Comparison is noise, ego is bait, both distract you from what's yours to do. The Stoics didn't walk around feeling superior. They walked with purpose. They didn't compete, they executed. Because being the best isn't about being above, it's about being exact. You're not here to win at people, you're here to master your post. And once you know your post, you guard it, you own it. You hold the line like no one else can. No excuses, no envy, no waiting for someone more qualified. You are the assignment. So stop looking up, stop looking around, lock in, not to prove you're better, to make sure nothing is done better than how you would have done it. Stop asking for permission to be powerful. They won't hand it to you, they won't validate it, they won't like it when you stop playing small. Let them. The Stoics didn't wait for a nod. They moved on principle, not approval. You don't need to be louder, you need to be locked in. Power isn't taken, it's owned, silently, consistently, without asking. Every time you downplay yourself, you train the world to overlook you. Every time you wait for permission, you teach your fire to go cold. So hold the line, speak the truth. Move like someone who doesn't need to be welcomed in, because the ones who wait stay waiting. And the ones who walk carve their own path through the noise. Repetition makes it real. Not talk, not hype, not hope. Reps. The Stoics didn't become solid by thinking once. They became by doing, again and again and again. Discipline isn't a spark, it's a beat. A quiet rhythm you keep when no one else hears it. You want to be sharp? Cut daily. You want to be calm? Hold still daily. You want to lead? Stand firm when the world shifts. No one sees it, no one claps, but every rep etches something deeper, until one day you don't need to try anymore. You just are, because what you repeat is what becomes real. Identity is built in action, not intention. You don't become what you plan to do. You become what you repeat. The world doesn't care what you meant. It remembers what you actually did. The Stoics didn't leave behind dreams. They left behind proof of effort, of clarity, of code. Intention is cheap, action is expensive. But only action builds. So stop describing the person you want to be. Start living like him. Move how he moves. Choose what he'd choose. And when you slip, don't explain. Correct, because who you are isn't the voice in your head. It's the pattern in your behavior. And if you want a new identity, you earn it one decision at a time. Not by thinking better, by doing different. Face your flaws like the best do. The weak avoid, the loud deflect. The best, they look straight at it. No excuses, no stories, just truth. The Stoics didn't pretend to be perfect. They were relentless in self-inspection. They wrote, reflected, rebuilt. Because strength doesn't come from hiding your flaws, it comes from owning them. What you avoid owns you. What you face makes you. So stop hiding in distraction. Stop dressing it up as growth. Stare at your weakness like a craftsman studies a crack in the blade. Then fix it. Not for applause, but because you hold the weapon. And it better be sharp. You want to be the best? Then sharpen the part of you you'd rather not see. That's where the real work is. True confidence doesn't seek to impress. It seeks to align. Confidence isn't noise. It's silence that doesn't shake. It doesn't ask, do they see me? It asks, am I still in line with what I said I'd be? The Stoics weren't trying to impress. They were trying to stay consistent. Because once you know your code, you don't need a crowd. You don't need eyes. You don't even need applause. Just alignment. Every action either confirms who you are or betrays it. Most are chasing image. You chase structure. Because image fades, but structure holds. So walk in the room with nothing to prove, only something to protect. Your standards, your peace, your name. And when they ask, why is he so sure? Let your actions be the only thing that answers. The best raise others without lowering themselves. You don't have to shrink to lift someone up. You don't have to dim to let them shine. The Stoics didn't compete for light. They became light through clarity, through presence, through code. Because true greatness doesn't get smaller around others winning. It gets stronger. Helping others rise doesn't weaken your edge. It sharpens it. Quietly, cleanly, without noise. Most people lead from ego, from scarcity, from fear of losing status. But the best, they lead from center, from duty, from knowing who they are and who they're not. So speak life, hold space, build people, but never lower what you were born to stand on, because the strongest ones lift others while standing taller. Failure doesn't expose you, it builds you. It doesn't mean you're weak, it means you're real. The Stoics never ran from failure, they extracted from it. Lesson, leverage, line. Because failure isn't the end, it's the proof that you showed up with something to lose. Most people fall and call it defeat. The Stoic falls and calls it data, not ego, not drama, just information. You want to be the best? Then learn how to fall, hard, quiet, and forward. Let the crack show you where to reinforce. Let the burn show you where you stopped breathing. Because failure doesn't reveal your limit, it reveals your floor. And if you build on that, you'll never need to fear falling again. You become it by acting like it until you do. Not pretending, not performing, just deciding to move like it, to speak like it, to live like it before anyone calls you it. That's the Stoic way. Don't wait to be crowned, don't wait to be seen. Just show up with the posture of someone who already knows. Let the results catch up. Let the world figure it out later. Because the day you act aligned is the day you are aligned. And the longer you stay there, in action, in code, in silence, the less it becomes an act, and the more it becomes you.